try to share my thoughts on how we can bring innovation in IT infrastructure management services. Now, given today's business landscape of increasing customer demands, global competition, lower trade barriers, and uncertain business cycles influenced by a potential double-dip global recession, corporate priorities seem to have rapidly changed within the past few months. Organizations are exploring growth opportunities in new markets, smarter ways of working, and better ways of managing sprawling, capital-intensive, heterogeneous infrastructure. IT infrastructure management is one of the biggest challenges of CXOs today. With ever-increasing infrastructure, exponential data growth, security concerns, and demanding customers, it is becoming difficult to keep pace with the changing requirements of infrastructure and then its management. In many companies, IT remains the cobbler's child, helping other businesses drive automation and process improvement, but not doing the same for its own IT operations and processes. CIOs and CTOs are being asked to prove the value proposition of IT infrastructure to businesses, forcing them to think of ways to addressing escalating IT infrastructure management costs and innovate ways to boost business agility. Managing IT remains a people-intensive process at many companies, something that requires a change as the pressure grows to cut the cost of keeping the IT lights on. Regardless of who provides such services, or even if they stay in-house, there is a need of fresh innovation in infrastructure management. Now, how do I define the question is, what is the innovation in context of IT infrastructure management services? In my opinion, innovation is about bringing in new methods in an organization for achieving business benefit. Now, what do we need to do? We need to introspect. We need to figure it out. We need to look inward and figure it out ourselves. The objective of introducing innovation is to help an organization achieve its desired future state. Innovation in IT infrastructure management services take variety of forms such as transformation, best practices, new technologies, and effective policies, etc. When we think of innovation, usually we think of novel, out-of-the-box solutions. But is it true? But in my opinion, I think one must keep in mind that innovation is not always a one-time activity. It can also be achieved by a continuously ensuring improvement in small measures. Continuous improvement requires a methodical, incremental improvement plan where minor modifications are implemented to existing system and process to make them perform better. Continuous improvement not only helps organization reap the benefits of innovation, but also minimizes the risk of wholesale change. CIOs do not always need to look outside to find innovative answers to internal challenges. The goal of bringing innovation in IT infrastructure management services is to increase efficiency and decrease costs. CIOs can start with introspecting and finding answers to questions such as, are the best practices being implemented? Are available new technologies being adopted? Are the processes standardized and optimized? These are some of the questions which you can start asking yourself and see whether there is a need for innovation, and if there is, then what are those areas where innovation need to be brought in. I would like to put forth some suggestions that how to innovate the IMS. Optimization of on-premise IT resources can be one of the ways how you can start bringing innovation. CIOs might want to start with relooking at their existing IT infrastructure and evaluate the options of consolidation and virtualization. Second point can be refashion the cost, speed, and flexibility by using cloud. Companies continue to suffer from significant internal resource and budget constraints. On an average, about 70 to 80% of IT budget is still being spent on operation and maintenance, IT operation and maintenance, leaving insufficient resources for new projects or innovation. Now, savvy CIOs are considering cloud computing service models, SaaS, PaaS, and even IaaS, as they understand that effective adoption of these models offer quicker provisioning of technology at a reduced cost with increased flexibility. Third suggestion can be seek better IT automation. The IT ecosystem of large organizations comprises of multiple databases, diverse applications, tools that do not integrate well, and a weak reporting system that requires heavy customized analysis just to get a big picture. Additionally, many IT processes are very fragile as they are people dependent. With a relatively high adoption of service delivery management process such as ITIL, CIOs now have the opportunity to automate service management process, thereby reducing dependency on manual intervention, improving productivity and transparency, and thus facilitating improved decision making. Another suggestion can be that outsourcing can be one option, where you can consider outsourcing supporting infrastructure with application. Now, how does this help? Some CIOs might still consider that outsourcing application management along with supporting IT infrastructure is a better option than optimizing infrastructure as the hermetic silos. This drives accountability to one provider and therefore reduces finger pointing between the multiple parties. A provider that bundles both IT and application management support understands and is responsible for managing all the dependencies from infrastructure to application, and therefore is more capable of aligning services to the business, improving service quality and incident closure times. There's one more suggestion from me: review procurement strategies and rationalize requirement. It is observed that many IT organizations overspec their environment and over-provision their employees. If people get innovative and thoughtful with their IT purchases, they could really save a slew of wasted money. If organizations were to procure infrastructure services in a far more thoughtful manner through rationalizing requirement, and significant savings can be created. And last suggestion, seek external help. We have seen at times an external service provider is far more effective in bringing about the changes quicker than the internal IT organization, as internal obstacles such as politics, skill limitations, organizational culture, etc. do not impact them. But if you hire a provider and ask him to do exactly the way you are doing it, then nothing will change. No innovation would be possible. Therefore, it is important for CIOs to create an environment that is conducive for the provider to bring in innovation in terms of best practices, continuous improvement, and also the radical innovation. The contracts should be so framed that they provide flexibility to the service provider. When the innovation is sought from outside, the buyer organization should also be ready to welcome new thoughts and reinvent their infrastructure strategies to suit the needs. So after you have introspected and you have figured it out that innovation is needed, then what do you need to do? You need to internalize the innovation. Now, how do you do that? For many organizations, innovation in IT infrastructure management is good to have, not a must-have. And therefore, innovation does not get prioritized in their IT strategy formulation. But for the organization striving for innovation, it is imperative that an environment is created that fosters innovation. Organizations that want to move quickly to develop new infrastructure sourcing alternative in any strategic manner may need support and advice to help them with both internal IT and process transformation. Organizations need not reinvent the wheel and may find value in working with the partners through this next journey of their IT delivery. Here are some simple steps the IT buyer can follow to get the innovation plan in motion. The first and foremost thing which a CIO needs to do is create an innovation agenda. Buyers must stipulate the need to explore new and creative ways to improve agility and productivity in a cost-effective manner as a core element of their IMS endeavor. And they must communicate it aggressively to their IT organization on a periodic basis. There is also a need to have a culture that promotes new thinking and reward schemes for individuals as well as the service providers that allows them to take risks. Next step would be communicate the innovation agenda. IT has to sell the advantage of innovation to internal teams who do not necessarily understand how innovation in IT infrastructure management can make an impact on their business. Buyers need to provide financial incentives to their providers in order to gain their assistance in achieving growth and productivity. Providers will step up to the plate with the right approach if they have the financial incentive to do so. The organizations that follow stringent SLA-based low-cost pricing models are unlikely to get much beyond the operational delivery. The buying organizations need to think of attractive risk and reward-based pricing models that motivate vendors to bring innovation in their service delivery. And with this, I'll conclude and say that introspection and internalization of innovation into your organization will lead you into the path of innovation. Keep innovating. Thank you very much.